The story of my life is really the story of Africa. My name is Afif Ben Yedder. I am the founder of IC Publications. I'm a publisher. I have been a publisher all my life. Since 1963, I have been traveling all my life in Africa, visiting really most of all African countries, meeting people from heads of state, prime ministers, ministers, high civil servants, and also, of course, the people. I have started in the early 60s when the African countries became independent. At that time, it was very expensive to publish a magazine and distribute it in Africa. We have chosen Paris because we started publishing in Tunisia and we had censorship problems. And from Tunis we went to Italy, Rome, and from Rome we went to Paris. From Paris we would be a Pan-African magazine. Nobody will say, oh, this is a Moroccan magazine or Tunisian or Ivorian or whatever. In Paris we had all the facilities technically to print and distribute because we have to transport the magazines to all African countries. In 1971, I came to London and started a magazine called Africa Magazine. So the magazine was voice of all Africans and it was really needed. And we were the only ones in the market. When we started the publications, we knew that we were not in it for the money. But money is essential for the magazines to survive. The only secret for our longevity is that we were never spending more money than we were earning. And when the years were good, we were not spending money left, right, and center. We were keeping it for the bad years. And when really the years were very tough, we invested in publishing, which was outside Africa. We invested in France, we invested in Europe, but always our love story is Africa. And we always return to Africa. If you go anywhere in Africa, you will find now social media, you will find many publications, TV stations, radio, and so forth. The only problem, and it's a serious, important problem, is that unfortunately, journalists are very badly paid in Africa. But the situation is improving all the time. I'm very proud of the fact that we in Africa, we have excellent media. We have a lot of communications agencies, we have advertising agencies, and the improvements are on a daily basis. One of the reasons of the success of IC Publications is that from the day I started in publishing, I have always hired people who were a lot better in what they were doing. And also, I had the privilege Once I had them, they kept with me almost all their life until they retire. And that's really the success. You have to have around you people who know better than you in what they do, in their expertise and so forth. My responsibility is to make sure that I have a team and the team work together in the same direction, and we always try to defend the interests of our dear continent. When we started, the first publication we had was called Bulletin de l'Afrique Noire, which means Black Africa Bulletin. And the man who was publishing it was a French journalist who never put foot in Africa, but he was the best expert on Africa. As publishers, it was natural to cover the needs of specific sectors. When South Africa was struggling for its independence, we were there. We have to use politics. Politics is very important in Africa. So we have 4 sectors which we cover: business, banking, women, and current affairs. I would advise anyone who is interested in this job of publishing and journalism and so forth in Africa to consider it not really as a job, but almost as a mission. So money shouldn't be a consideration at all. I say the most important thing is that Africa needs you. And if you are capable of responding to these needs and to defend the interests of your country, of your countrymen, of the Africans, that's it. Do it. North and south, west and east, center, no. We are one continent, and we succeed only if we are one continent. And I have never considered myself Arab or even Mediterranean or whatever. I consider myself as African. First and foremost, I'm African. We Africans are our worst enemies. We don't know how to communicate. We don't know how to present the image of our continent. And we must invest in training and forming Africans who know how to communicate and to send to the world the right image, the right perception of our continent. We have a wonderful story to tell the world, and the image which we are having right now is not the image which we deserve, and that's really why it started in publishing. I wanted to present the image and to present the story told by Africans for Africans.